Hi guys. As Sam said, I kind of forgot that this was a Christmas conference, so I'm just going to talk to you about pizza for 20 minutes and we'll see where we go from. Ignore that opening slide. So I'm Jack, marketing manager of Mission Mars, and like I say, I'm going to just spend 20 minutes and talk to you about a campaign that we launched with a little bit of help from our friends, and go from there. Kind of, we've got a slide or so about Christmas at the end, but for now, we're just going to talk about pizza. The first thing I just wanted to answer before we move on is, why the fuck are we called Mission Mars? Because I've had it 3 times already today. I had it 6 times at Tim Bacon last week. And much to me being in a photo of a NASA spacesuit with nothing to do with SpaceX, Tesla, NASA, anything to do with that. In short, and this should have been a video, but I don't think we could get it to work, Ben, our CEO really wants to go to Mars. So his idea is that if he builds a hospitality business big enough, he'll be able to buy a spaceship and be able to take us to Mars. That is why we're called Mission Mars, and I have to walk around with photos like this at every single presentation that I do. So, without further ado, what does that mean? We are the owner-operators of Albert Hall, Albert Schenk, Albert Slosh, if you're familiar. I think Sam's been in quite a lot. Martin got kicked out a couple of weeks ago, for those that don't know. Zumhof Biergarten, essentially kind of a German little family of Bavarian, Bohemian beer palaces, as I like to call them. And then the other half of our business is, which we've missed a slide, is Rudy's Pizza. So we own and operate Rudy's Neapolitan Pizza. We've got 13 sites across the UK, predominantly in the north. The slide that I am missing just explain what we do. So we make authentic Neapolitan pizza. We cook it in 60 seconds. We buy all of our ingredients from Naples every single week. And just like pretty much every other pizza place across the UK now, we do Neapolitan pizza, in short. Just to take you on a little bit of a story of where we've come from. So Rudy's was started in 2014 by a lovely little couple called Jim and Kate. They were Manc and they had a dog called Rudy. It is as simple as that, and we've carried that name with us. They love pizza. They love their dog. They used to make pizza in an uni-style oven at home. They then went on to started cooking pizzas from the back garden to doing pop-ups. The first event that they did was in Ancoats Square, and they sold 19 pizzas, sold out, and were absolutely buzzing. They then went on from that, did a load of other pop-ups, until they signed the lease for Rudy's in Ancoats on Rudy's first birthday, which was, you know, we kind of hang our heart on that to this day. So they went from doing pop-ups to signing the first site in Rudy's in Ancoats. Rudy's was then listed in the Where to Eat Pizza Guide as one of the best pizzerias in the world. So for Jim, Kate and little Rudy, they were pretty fucking humbled about that, to be honest with you. As the years go on, Rudy's goes to win a couple of other awards, namely being Most Affordable Eats in the Manchester Food and Drink Festival in 2016. And that's where we came along. So our head office is based in Manchester. Anyone that's been for meetings with me in Manchester will know that all we do is either go to Albert Slosh and drink beer or eat pizza when we're doing these meetings. So we spent a hell of a lot of time in Rudy's Ancoats between 2014 and 2017. The opportunity came around that the business was getting a little bit too hard for Jim and Kate. So we said, we'll take it off you straight away. We're in here every single day. They still remain really good friends of the business, but we kind of, you know, it's a big part of who we are now. From there, we opened our second Rudy's on Peter Street in 2018, and over the last couple of years, we've been voted #1 pizza in the UK, #3 in Europe, and #10 in the world. I don't know if there's anyone from Franco Manca or Pizza Pilgrims in, because sometimes there's a little argument about that, but if you Google it, you'll see where the facts lie. This is being recorded, isn't it? Great. So then from 2019, Rudy's is 10 pizzerias strong, mainly in the north, with pizzerias in Manchester, Leeds, Warrington, Birmingham, Liverpool. We've just opened up in Sheffield about 8 weeks ago, a couple in Leeds down the road as well. But as you can tell, very, very northern, true to our heritage, and hadn't really been outside of the northwest. Which then our boss thought, well, it's worked well up north, why don't we go to London? As you can tell, you know, I'm a small boy from Blackpool, live in Manchester. Never really spent a lot of time in London. It scares me a little bit. So we go from there. During COVID, we secured a site in May 2021 on Wardour Street in Soho, the old Oaxaca. It's on Wardour Street, but it's in the heart of what I like to call the pizza mile. So over the last couple of years, we always go down to London and research our competitors, and we were literally in a stone's throw of where these guys are. So, you know, Pizza Pilgrims, Franco Manca, Jake's Pizza, Di Michele, Soho Joe. So not only did we decide to buy a site in London just coming out of a pandemic where the city was pretty dead, but we did it within a stone's throw of our key competitors. And that scared the shit out of me, especially when we had 2 months to turn it around. So just wanted to spend 10 minutes or so today talking about how to launch a pizzeria where no one knows your name, because we kind of think that we've got a little bit of a name for ourselves in Manchester at the moment, but down south, you know, it's a lot bigger pond, bigger pizza pond if you want. So we're right in the middle here, and this is, you know, all of our peers around us. So after I found out that we were buying a site in London, I went home stressed and thought, how the hell are we going to launch this pizzeria in London? I ripped out our brand pack, kind of going through what did Jim and Kate want from the business, where are we now, where have we come over the next couple of years. Brand packs are pretty good, but they're pretty useless if you're a marketing team of 3 where one of you has written it and 2 of you don't really care because you're too busy bulk sending emails like Ellie says. But there's a couple more Ellie jokes in here as well. But one kind of page did stick on me a little bit. It's that we're here to bring authentic Neapolitan pizza to everyone, no matter who you are, who you're with, or where you're from. And the where you're from really hit home with me, because we feel like we've done that up north, but we haven't done it down south yet. So I had a dream, like Joel wanting to go to Mars, and it was to give everyone in London free pizza. So the next morning, I texted our FD, Michael, which if you're watching this, I'm sorry, to basically say that I wanted to give pizza to 10,000 people in London, the idea being that if they try it, they will come back. And I had this dream that it was kind of like Glastonbury, where people would register for the chance to have a free pizza, and then we'd release all the pizza in one go, and they'd all book. The idea was simple. It didn't really happen like that, but we'll come on to that in a second. But the overarching theme was try it and they'll come back, because, you know, we like to think that our product is pretty good. It's what we put all of our effort into. That's a genuine screenshot from WhatsApp on the left-hand side, where he thought I meant 1,000. It was actually 10,000. And we had to discuss it on exec. So I threw 2 slides together for exec an hour later. One was a design that I made on Canva in about 20 minutes, so don't judge it, we didn't go out with this. But it was essentially, our campaign idea was to register to eat Neapolitan pizza for free during our opening week. We want everyone to try our pizza when we announce our launch week. There'll be 10,000 up for grabs, come and get it. And put together a little timeline. So the idea was that we're 61 days away from opening this site. I need sign off today if we're going to do this. And then what I'll do for 2 months or so is open up a sign-up form on the website and essentially advertise to everyone, register and come and get a free pizza. And then on around the 12th of July, which was a bad idea because it was the day after my birthday and I was quite hungover, we would then release these 10,000 pizzas to anyone who've registered to our database, and then essentially the pre-booking a slot for anyone for the 24th of July onwards. So we got straight on the phone with Georgina, Andrew, the guys at Airship, and said, well, I've had this campaign approved. Help, I need to get this out there. So pretty basic automations. Yes, Ellie, we didn't do any segmentation. We just did a sign-up form and a welcome email. But we put a sign-up form on the website. When someone signed up, they then got a text or an email to say, stand by, we're coming, you're on the list. We went down to London the next day, painted a window. We thought it was pretty cool, but when I look back at it now, it makes me cringe a little bit. But the thing we've got on the right-hand side was a pizzometer that we came up with, and the idea being that as the pizzas were claimed, we'd scrub it out each week. Turned out that QR code only got scanned 62 times in the 3 weeks that it was up, so probably wasn't worth the money we spent on the painting. As everyone does whenever they're opening, we sent a press release out to say that we're coming, and we're releasing 10,000 pizzas up for grabs. That went quite well. It was picked up by all big titles in London, Time Out, Metro, Times, Mob Kitchen, etc. But it didn't really have much of an effect on kind of my opening database. It got us to about 1,700 sign-ups. And I worked out, with a bit of help from Andrew, that in order to kind of give away 10,000 pizzas, we'd need to get about 6,000 people on this database, because we wanted people to be able to not just come and get a pizza themselves, but be able to bring a friend or a +1 or a +2 as well. So my target was to get 6,000 sign-ups, and I had 6 weeks or so to do it. So we then gave our digital pals in the industry a call and got onto Airship, ResDiary, Wireless Social and Shopify, all of which are our digital partners, none of which have paid me to do this presentation at all, by the way. And we found out that we've got 2,000 people on our database of Rudies who are actively opening our emails. We get about 1,700 new bookings a week coming into our existing sites via ResDiary. 1,000 people a week use our Wi-Fi in venue through Wireless Social. And luckily, due to COVID, we launched a pizza at home delivery service where we'd cook a pizza, freeze it, and send it out overnight with the post. Now, we did about 125,000 of those orders, 15% of which were down south, which we never really expected to happen, but was really good news for what was about to come. So what we did was we got all of that data together. So I combined all the data, and it was literally within spreadsheets. I'm sure Ellie would have done it a much easier way. But we got all of our data of everyone that we know is a current Rudy's customer and imported them into Facebook, or Meta, as they're now called, whatever that means. And we built a lookalike audience of 1 million people in London who were 5% similar to people who visited our existing sites. So we looked at what was a Rudy's guest, what do they look like, what are these 365 data points that we know about them, find those kind of people in London. So we did a 6-week targeted campaign in London, or Soho, plus 10 kilometres. We reached 1 million people, drove nearly 19,000 people to the website, and had a cost per click of 27p. This was the ad that they saw on the left-hand side, and obviously the targeting. The only bit I wanted to add here was use your account manager. So there's a lot of us in the team marketing chat that always say that they have problems with Facebook and Instagram and the support is crap. If you actually spend enough or pitch to them that you are going to spend enough on a launch campaign, they will give you the support. So we wouldn't have been able to launch this campaign without the support of a Facebook business representative effectively. So I essentially ended up sending them a brief of this is what I want to do, and they built the campaigns for us. So I would highly recommend getting in touch with your contact at Facebook if you do have one. So what happened next was, well, we ran a 6-week campaign and shit, it went off. We had 7,400 new sign-ups via the Facebook campaigns, which took me to about 10,000 people on my database, which is great, way above my target. Oh, that was supposed to be a fuck me meme, but it's not playing. So we then had 9,226 sign-ups, but the idea was that no, we didn't want anyone to come on their own. We wanted them to be able to book to come with 2, 3, or a 4. And I only had 10,000 pizzas to give away, so we'd kind of massively over-regged that comms. Now, luckily, we said it's for your chance to sign up for a free pizza, but that was one learning there that kind of keep track on where you're at, whereas I just let the Facebook campaign run, let Airship do its thing, and, you know, we ended up with 10,000 sign-ups, which is great. So it then came to the day which I call Glastonbury Day, where we wanted to release the pizza. And we kind of realised that we needed a way to control that demand, because otherwise I was going to have 40,000 people all trying to claim a free pizza some way. And I think Sam at the point, who's just ran off, said, you're going to cause a stampede in a pizzeria, there'd be tomato everywhere, or some really shit joke. So what we did was we worked with ResDiary, who's our booking system, and built a special widget to effectively, you couldn't see it on our public site, but it was almost on a secret landing page where we had certain covers coming at certain times. So, for example, we were letting 20 people book between 12 and 1 and 40 people book between 4 and 5 where we had more staff on, and everything was going to be controlled through this booking widget with ResDiary. We built an e-flyer, which we did send in bulk to that database, to then say, right, first come, first served, use the widget, claim your free pizza effectively. What happened next was pretty scary. I was hungover. It was the day after my birthday, and I should not have done this the day after, but the results were pretty impressive, to be honest with you. So we sent the email out via Airship. One learning we had straight away was we didn't drip feed it. We just sent everything in one go. It was just a complete slip of the mind. But we just sent everything in one go. And within 5 minutes of the broadcast, we had 3,500 people on the site. 1,000 pizzas were claimed within 10 minutes. Our opening week had sold out within 7. We were actively booking 50 covers every 5 minutes, with analytics looking like this, that I didn't really know what was going on or what to do with it. And within the first 24 hours, we'd converted our Airship database, our holding cell, into 6,400 bookings or 10,000 pizzas effectively to then be claimed over the following 6 weeks once we opened. Something that I kind of regretted at the time, but I don't regret now, is that all of those pizzas were then claimed and the ResDiary widget was showing us no availability. But I was still looking at this on my screen. I was like, all these people are going to be pissed off. You know, we've got too much demand than supply effectively. So without consulting anyone in the team, I thought I'm adding another 3,000 pizzas onto the booking system and see where we go from. I did that. Those 3,000 pizzas then went within an hour, and I thought, I can't risk it. I'm not doing anything else. We'll see what happens. It was a really good day. We were overwhelmed with the success. But it wasn't all good. So if your ResDiary, does anyone use ResDiary in the room? Yeah. If your ResDiary went down on the 12th of July, I'm sorry, that was us. We crashed ResDiary nationwide. We also crashed all of our other websites, our server that our websites were on. We got banned from Stripe, our payment processor, because we were requiring card details for everyone that wanted to claim a free pizza so that we could prevent no-shows. They banned us because apparently 6,000 pre-auth charges without any payment is bad news as far as they're concerned. And I very nearly got fired for giving away the extra 3,000 free pizzas without asking anyone, but I'm still here. Good news was, for the record, Rudy's got off to a really good start. Their first 6 weeks of trade was booked up with people who were really eager to come and try our product. We only had 15 no-shows out of 13,000 free pizzas that we gave away, which is, you know, incredible. So I think the only reason that is because Stripe didn't ban us right until the last minute. So I'm sure everyone is at the moment, but if you're not, make sure you've got card details and deposit in order to, whenever you're taking any online booking. I don't know if there's anyone from Feed It Back in the room, and they don't like it when I do this, but bear with me. We knew that we were sending 6,000 bookings effectively into our pizzeria to claim a free pizza, and I wanted something back from it. So 24 hours after someone visits us, they get an email that says, leave us your feedback, and usually it goes to Feed It Back. We love that platform. But when we ran this launch campaign, I wanted to send it to TripAdvisor because we have a really good TripAdvisor presence up north, but we didn't have one at all in Soho. So we drove all of that traffic to TripAdvisor instead of Feed It Back and shot straight to number 26 of 17,000 restaurants in London, above Nobu, Hakkasan, the Ritz. We're kind of like, shit, people are going to come and expect a 5-star experience here. It's great pizza, but it's not Nobu. A little bit on proof of presence. We then worked out that 38% of people came back after launch campaign. So the 6 weeks following launch campaign, 38% of people then came back and actually paid for a pizza, which is always great news. And Pizza for All or Pizza for Everyone is now our launch campaign for all Rudy's, effectively. So I think it went really well. What did we learn from it? Or what could you then apply from this from Christmas? Because I've been told to make this related to Christmas. Is Meta knows literally everything. So I know Ellie spoke a lot about the data that your CRM currently knows, but I don't know if Dan would like this, but think about taking that data away from your CRM and where can you upload it to. So Facebook and Instagram ads were the sole reason why this campaign was a success, to be totally honest with you. So think about what you know about your guests in your CRM. Meta probably knows more about your guests than that. They've got 365 data points that they know about a single email address. Take that data out, upload it into Facebook, whether it's your past bookers from Christmas last year and you're retargeting them or finding people similar to that. Just get it into Meta and start using it for your targeted campaigns. We learned that people do anything for a freebie, so I'm not saying that everyone changes the Feed It Back link, but it does really work if you are giving away a free Prosecco, free pizza, free burger, or something whenever you launch. Get yourself, drive those 5-star TripAdvisor reviews. Think long-term and collect birthdays, so we're not currently doing birthday marketing, but are thinking about it after a bit of a proposal from Ellie, where she tore us apart about three weeks ago. So we've now got, 6,000 people in Soho. We know their date of birth, so think longer term rather than just shorter term when you're fighting the madness. I'm going to regret saying this on camera, but finance aren't always right because they didn't want to do this, but now it is our launch campaign for all Rudy's and works. And one of the biggies for me was let your IT team or suppliers know what you're doing. So we didn't give ResDiary the heads up. We were going to send 20,000 people to their website in one go. We didn't tell Stripe what we were doing. We told, the marketing guys at Airship, but we didn't tell the people that were actually facilitating that. Try and wrap it up now because I know I'm ticking on. So just to link that back to Christmas, like I've just said, think about I try and tell our marketing team everything you do is ace from an awareness, conversion, experience point of view. So in terms of awareness of this campaign, are you ranking and visible online? I.e., was that landing page to sign up visible when you search free pizza in London or Christmas in Manchester, for example? Obviously, work with your PR to get onto the right channels. Now, we are now seeing requests from journalists to get, best Christmas experiences in Manchester off there. Think off CRM, as I've said. I've banged on about Meta. TikTok are now doing exactly the same thing as well, by the way, so this can be moved over to TikTok. I won't talk about welcome journeys because I think Ellie's flopped that and said there's a hell of a lot more to do than a welcome journey. But if someone is booking for Christmas, are you then educating them about your brand and all that kind of stuff that we know? And go big is the main thing I want you to take away from this. Joel's got a dream that he wants to go to Mars. I had a dream that I wanted to give away pizza. It happened. It wasn't possible without our friends, Airship, Social ResDiary. It's not paid, like I said, this presentation. It can be, but I've heard the bar's free, so I was going to say pay me in beer. Maybe next time we can use Data Hawks to do it, and we could fund that instead. But thank you. I think Dan's trying to edge me off, so I'll stop. But I just wanted to just see how it worked. So this is being recorded, but if you scan the QR code or go to that website, you'll get added to an Airship holding group like everyone in Soho did. We'll then send you a free pizza over the next couple of weeks, just so you can see exactly how it worked. The only T&C being that Sam's going to pay for this one.
Amazing. Thanks. Jack, Ed, Mission Miles, everyone.